So look what I have behind me. Yes, these are the all new, totally redesigned 2025 Chevrolet Equinox, and these are the RSs, and that is what we're gonna look at today. All right, well, technically we're only going to be looking at one of these, not all of these, because they're literally all trimmed the same way. Again, these are the RS version of the new 2025 Chevrolet Equinox. Now, there is only going to be 3 trim levels. I'm trying to remember who said it, but somebody, as they said, is they're trimming the fat in terms of their lineup, which I used to be a salesperson before, and I'm actually okay with that. It just keeps things a little more simple, the packaging a lot more simple, and it's a lot easier to understand as a consumer as well. At least I think so anyways. So what we're gonna have is we're gonna have an LT, we're gonna have which is kind of obviously you're gonna be your entry level, there's no more LS. We're gonna have an LT, they're gonna have the RS, which is what we're looking at here today, of course, and then we're gonna have the Active. Now the RS and the Active are kind of similar like trim levels, one being more sporty road-like, which is the RS here, and the Active, which is more off-road. I'm gonna be doing a walk around on that as well, so stay tuned for that. But first and foremost, the RS. A couple things of note, of course. Again, this is totally redesigned, so the whole front end is totally different. You have your LED daytime driving lights up here, or DRLs as they call it. Then you have your headlights down here below, and then you have your fog lights below that yet again. The grille itself, they have the nice brow across here. Of course, the black Chevy logo, the black emblem. You're gonna have the black gloss all the way through around here. And then of course, this beautiful red color. But then down here below, you're gonna have like that, you know, like kind of flat black on that as well. So again, totally redesigned, totally new. You know, it has a completely different appearance from the older version, but it's keeping in line with what the current lineup of vehicles from Chevy and the SUVs look like, right? So, you know, the Trax and the Trailblazer and all that kind of stuff, the Traverse, they're all gonna share some similar things that way. The black badging you're gonna have on here as well, of course, where it says Equinox and all-wheel drive, the beautiful RS badging there as well, and then of course your black badging here as well. And then you have your two-tone roof. So you got the roof up here, which normally I'd say is just a regular black, but it actually has a bit of a metallic black in it. And also, when we talk about that, again, this is all black in here. And one thing you're gonna note though, is this actually has a different grille than what the Active does. So when I do my walk around the Active, you're gonna see that. I unfortunately don't have one here today to show you the difference of. We actually have a couple of LTs, which are here. I'm gonna be doing a walk around as well. But on this one here, you're gonna see this is all paint matching through here. And the way the grille design's here, you're gonna notice when we talk about the LT is actually different. It has a little bit of a different design here, and then this is like kind of black, it flows in with this. So they've made the RS look quite a bit different from the front end. Again, more sporty. And speaking of sporty, that goes right down to the wheels. So right here, if I believe, yeah, these are the 19-inch wheels. So those are the standard wheels that you would get on an RS. If you wanted to, the first time ever on an Equinox, you can now bump up and get into the 20-inch wheel as a standard, as an optional feature, pardon me. Again, black on the mirror caps as well. Surprised they didn't go with the black door handles. I think that would have been a little bit of a nice touch with all the other black accents, but hey, it is what it is. Color-wise, there's 8 colors this year in this vehicle, which you'll see along the way. Keyless entry on the front doors, not on the back doors. I don't like that. I miss that. I think that they should have it on all 4 of the doors, especially for a vehicle like this. As far as the size, lengthwise, it's pretty much the same as the outgoing model, height, all that kind of stuff, but it is 2.5 inches wider than the outgoing model. As far as underneath the hood, it's now powered by, well, not now, it's still powered by an inline 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. However, there's a couple of differences when it comes to the transmission. It used to have obviously the 6-speed transmission when it came to these vehicles. Now, what we have underneath the hood, or you know, as far as transmission, pardon me, is if it's an all-wheel drive, you're gonna get a new 8-speed transmission in this with new software, or if it's the front-wheel drive, like an LT front-wheel drive, which I'm gonna be driving at some point, it is a CVT transmission, so something different there. The interior here, I love. We got that RS. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like this red here. It's almost like a cloth and like a leatherette kind of material here, and then you have blue and red stitching there, which I think looks really sharp. Heated rear seats for your passengers here. I'll show you some other stuff when we get up to the front. But let's just look around the back here and open up. Oh, by the way, check this out. I love these red touches, right? But again, we'll talk about that as we sit in the cockpit. As we head around the back though, you're going to see as far as space wise. They're saying that 2.5 inches wider in the redesign is actually widening this up a bit. So the floor is a little bit different. Your storage back here is a bit different. You have storage underneath this seat, and then of course you have these seats that fold down. Interestingly, they've gone away from something they used to have before, where I don't know if you remember, I can't remember which side it was on. You used to be able to pull on here and the seats go down. Now, from the looks of it, I got a charge port back here. From the looks of it, you actually have to get into that back row and in order to drop the seat. So that's a little bit different. They've gone away from something. I don't think it's the end of the world by any means, but just as a heads up. And they fold pretty well, pretty well flat. Again, heated rear seats though is a nice touch back here. This one has the nice big sunroof here, as you can see. And as we get into the cockpit, this is where a lot of things have changed, and obviously, for the better. Well, first of all, we have memory seats in here. We now have heated and ventilated seats. I actually used those ventilated seats today. I can't talk about it, but I used them. Wireless charging port here now. I really like it. My phone's quite large with a big case. It fits in there quite well. We have different drive modes. The drive modes are right here, of course. Let me just start this up. Actually, I guess that would help us if we can see this started. So your different drive modes, as you can see, I'll put it up on here actually. Oh, there we go. You got snow and ice, normal, of course, and then you have your off-road. Now, off-road will actually allow the wheels to spin a bit more. It changes the yaw sensors a little bit. When you go into snow mode, that's actually going to give it a little, how do I say it? A little more friendly roll-on power. So it's not spinning because you don't want the wheels, obviously, to spin, right? And then in your normal mode, your normal mode. And of course, you can put it in and out of all-wheel drive with that button over here. Again, I love these red touches you're gonna see through here. Again, on the, look at like, I just like the touch. And then like this different design on here. The seat design is great. You have the RS and the seats. Anyways, and then of course, there's our panel sunroof that I talked about on the outside, and there's the big screen. I just don't want to open it because it's going to make everything way too bright in here right now. New steering wheel. What I do like is a little bit thicker steering wheel than I remember from the past Equinoxes. Maybe it's just me, but it feels different. And I like that squared off bottom you're getting here in the RS. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Some standard things you're actually getting the LT, but of course you're going to get in the RS. Heated seats, heated steering wheel, a ton, I'm talking about, of safety features come standard, not to mention we also have adaptive cruise control is now standard. Now, the one thing they don't have, as you might have noticed, well, at least this one doesn't have it, but none of them have it, is there is no Super Cruise, unfortunately, available yet. Yet, I say, because I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that they will have it available maybe next season or something, next year, I should say. But as of right now, there is no availability for the Super Cruise in these vehicles. Separate climate control for your driver passenger. Now let's talk about the screens though. If you've already been noticing that 11-inch programmable screen in front of the driver, and we have an 11.3-inch screen over here with Google Assistant and so on. Now, I have a bit of rundown on this screen today, and I have to say I'm more impressed with it than I was before. When you buy a brand new 2025 Equinox, you have the ability to have the Google built-in components working for 8 years. 8 years of connectivity for these things. So watch this. Now, I'm not pressing any buttons. You can see my hand. I'm holding the other hand of the camera. Watch this. Hey Google, what's the temperature today?
Today in Minneapolis, expect a high of 80 and a low of 61.
How cool is that? I didn't even press the button. I didn't even have to do that. We also have Alexa built in here. But by the way, for those of you traditional people like myself, because I used to like it until I'm learning about how this works, you have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, Google Assistant can do just about anything that you would use your Alexa for, but you can also have, you can get it to do, navigation. Oh, actually, you can even do this. The air conditioning is on right now, so let's just say, hey Google, turn off the air conditioning.
Got it. Turning off the AC.
Like, that's crazy. See, the button went out. Now let's say it again. Alexa, turn on the air conditioning. Oh, sorry. Hey Google, turn on the air conditioning.
Okay, turning on the AC.
There's a light on. See, that is so cool. Another thing I really like that I learned today is you can have your navigation, of course. I think that's pretty obvious. You can have, let me just do it here. You can have your navigation up here on the screen. However, another cool thing you can do, if we're looking at this screen over here and you press this button here, watch this. You can have your navigation on front of this on this is an Equinox. This isn't a Cadillac Escalade, people. This is an Equinox. I love this. This is actually what I used to say when I was driving the vehicle, because I did not want to use this because I wanted this for my music and stuff. So pretty cool. You can have your navigation up here. It's not virtual reality navigation, but it's navigation nonetheless. It works great. I used it. I think it's phenomenal. Now, a couple things I want to talk about. Address a couple things. Number one, of course, we have no shifters here. The shifter is over here now, much like we're seeing in a lot of the new GM vehicles. It's in the new Blazer EV, the Equinox EV, the new Tahoe, the Suburban, you know, if we're going to talk GM vehicles, it's in the Acadia, it's in the Yukons. Like, this new electric shifter isn't a lot of the vehicles. I did not like it at first. I'll be completely honest with you. However, now that I've driven a bit more, like anything else, you know, I'm resistant to change, but I like it because I've been using it. I've gotten a lot better at it. And so again, it's like anything else, you know, become second nature. Now, obviously your signals, windshield wipers over here. Yes, unfortunately, for those of you who don't like this idea, the headlights and so on are now controlled through the touch screen. I don't have a huge issue with it. However, that's just me. I know some of you do. I am just pointing it out to you that, like the Colorado, Chevy has gone and put the headlights into this system now, as opposed to it being on a stock or, you know, down here or anything like that. All right, parking brake is right there, by the way, as well. But again, I mean, oh man, rear view camera mirror, pardon me, is in the RS trim as well. I mean, like, so many nice features in this. Stay tuned. I don't know if it's before or after this, but regardless, check out my YouTube channel. You're going to see about what my impressions are actually driving this phenomenal vehicle. But in the meantime, the looks, the tech, the redesign is something that I think Chevy should be very proud of, because I think this is such a fantastic upgrade from the previous model. Again, the 2025 Chevrolet Equinox RS.